Who would you say is your favorite black video game character?
I'm gonna say Franklin from Grand Theft Auto.
Barrett from Final Fantasy VII. You know, the guy, he's a beast, and you know, he's not scared of nothing. So that makes him my favorite.
I'm gonna go basic. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say Knuckles. Black adjacent, you know, close enough. I think second will probably be Skate from Streets of Rage. That was the only other character that I used besides Axel, but he wouldn't necessarily count this question. Aside from that, I really couldn't think of any other characters.
No, that's a really good question, and as I'm thinking about it, I go back in the day. I gotta say Eddie Gordo from Tekken. That was like one of the first like fighting games I really loved, and he was so easy to use. But just him being dope in the game as well. You know, he had locks. He was fit. It was dope. It was dope to have him in there. So Eddie Gordo for sure.
My favorite black video game character is Raven from Tekken series. Probably been playing Raven since Tekken 5 or 6. He's got the drip. He's a ninja, which is cool because he's black, but he's also very Japanese.
Gotta say Kratos from God of War. Love a good story arc of a father just trying to make it work with his family and looking out for his kids. So he was voiced by a black actor.
I would say probably Sean from Street Fighter. He was one of the first. The very first I saw was Eddie from Tekken, and everyone hates Eddie from Tekken, so I want to talk about him. And he's Afro. I think he's Afro-Latino or Afro-Spanish, whatever the term is. But yeah, the first real black person I saw and played with was Sean, Street Fighter Third Strike. And it was great because up until that point, Ryu was my favorite character. So it was nice to have like a Ryu clone, but as a young black kid. And being a young black kid playing with Sean was actually quite fun to do.
So my favorite black video game character is probably Piccolo from every Dragon Ball game imaginable. He just has this like, he really just like raised Gohan from the ground up, and he has this, you know, kind-hearted, loving spirit. You know, even when he was King Piccolo and he was like a villain, you can really see that he wasn't super evil. He just wanted, you know, everyone to leave him alone, right? So whenever you get into the video games, you get Piccolo, especially in the Saiyan Saga, you start noticing he's raising Gohan in Goku's place. And you just see he's got this like really good aura about him. He always wants to protect his friends. So yeah, that's why he's my favorite character. Just caring.
Oh man, I guess there's a lot that not a lot that I can think of. But the ones I can think of are notable. I guess the first one that comes to mind is probably Jacob from Mass Effect. It's probably my favorite series in gaming, period. And I think I just liked him because I was always interested in the military anyway. And he was kind of a main character, and in the game he was respected and powerful and just cool. And he wasn't the stereotype, you know, that a lot of times we see perpetuated about black culture. You know, like I said, he was powerful, he was respected. You know, he wasn't like the thug. He wasn't, you know, the sports player. He was a ranking officer in the game. And so I think I really resonated with and liked Jacob a lot from the game.
Do you believe there's enough black representation in video games?
Absolutely not.
The fact that I could only think of him, well, not only him, but he was probably the one that I played the most. And he's a good dude, you know? And he checks his white friends. It's great. Rich white friends.
I would love to see more black characters in video games, and also there are millions of black creators in the world, and I think their work should be seen.
No. Mainly because again, it took me forever just to figure out those two characters. I don't think there's enough. I really don't think there's enough. Off the top of my head, just with getting assistance, I think we can what Barrett, Knuckles, Skates, Alex from Streets of Rage. It's about as good as it gets. No, I don't think we have enough representation.
Honestly, I don't, because even though I said Eddie Gordo, it was really, really hard to even think of like multiple options. So to me, that means that we need a lot more representation, because it shouldn't be hard for us to, you know, recognize our people in these games. And we're dope. So There needs to be more, period. Straight up.
Absolutely not. Definitely need more diversity in general. We need more, and especially with the culture. I'd love to see not only Black actors, Black coders, but also like just Black cultural themes in video games. There's a lot of history there across the diaspora, African, Caribbean, Black American, all of it. There's a lot of subject material to work with, but we don't see enough of it.
I do think that every game, especially now, has done a good job with pulling more representation of not just Black but multiple races. Like lots of the big games now, like Tekken and Street Fighter, make a point of having fighters from specific places, and they do a great job of like researching the culture and not just saying, hey, this person's from Japan and throwing a Japan flag on them. That's the end of it. Like they look up the culture and what they'd be like, and I think it's true to the character of that place, of that culture.
So, as far as being a side character, a Black side character in a video game, I would say yes. Over the course of the day, when this question was asked to me, I couldn't ever think of a game that had a Black leading character in it. So, for that reason alone, I will say no, because we need more leading Black characters in video games. We're cool with being a side character, but like give us at least one. Representation is for everyone, and Black characters are very needed as the leading character inside of a video game, with the exception of Grand Theft Auto 5. That's the only exception.
No, we're getting better, but I can't think of a game, and I could be wrong, but I can't think of one where there's a Black person as like the main character, like the main protagonist. I know there's some out there, but you don't see them. I would challenge most people to try to come up with one, and I think most people couldn't think of one. But not just inside the game, but also in terms of creating them. I can't wait, and I hope to see in the future more game creators of color and showcasing their talent and their stories that they want to write as well. So it's better than it was. We've made some progress, but we definitely still have some work to do in that regard.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.